Hi everybody, this is a tutorial for the Breakout EA. This is perfect for traders who are trading breakouts, especially if they're doing it manually, and you're looking for a way to basically remove your emotions from the game and have it all automized so you can basically do other things with your life rather than be worrying, stressing about what's actually happening in the trading world. Like with all products, you have to be very careful. I strongly recommend listen carefully to this video, stop and pause and come back to parts where you feel fit. By understanding this tool, you will be able to get the best results from it. There is no way I can promise anyone profits because there's a lot of customization with this tool. You need to understand the breakouts yourself. I will offer some breakouts that have been profitable for me, and especially in future videos, but the purpose of this video is just to show you how it works. So let's get started. First of all, let's put the Breakout EA onto a graph, and let's check the inputs basically. So auto lots essentially means the size of the lot that it will trade at. So if you have it on false, it will focus on the fixed lots. If you have it on true, it will be in the risk percentage. Therefore, I always recommend trade at a very low amount, so 0.01, but certainly even better, test some demo first. If you want it fixed lots, have it on false and just do the fixed lot that you are comfortable with trading. Next is setting the range. So here the range will start at 9.15 and it will end and we'll put it at 9.30. So here we're just looking to replicate the school run, which is a quite famous breakout strategy made by Tom Hugard. He seems to make a lot of money doing it. So if you're looking to kind of replicate him, but in an automated way, this bot has the capability. It's by no means anything special it's doing. It is just a breakout bot, but it is well designed for this strategy and other breakout strategies. Next is a stop hour. So this is basically when it will stop doing any new trades. So in this case, I have it set at 11, but you change this depending on the time frame you want to trade. Next is entry buffer. This is basically the buffer above the area where it will make the order. So let's say the range is 10 points. It's between 100 and 110. Then if you've got a buffer of 2, then it will make a buy at 112 and it will make a sell at 98. So it's to give a little range above the range to be safe that it actually has been broken. Next is the use of stop losses. A stop loss is compulsory with this technique, and basically you either need to have stop loss in pips, stop loss that's candle length, i.e. the range length, or the reverse entry. All are pretty common in most bots. I recommend using all three and just picking the large value in most cases. But if you want to be a bit more, let's say, risk averse, you are worried about extreme market moves, which is a genuine concern, then you can also pick the smaller value, which means that you can manage your risk at the pips at the very worst. So this is a very nice way to reduce risk when doing a strategy. But either way, you have the customization at your hands here. Next is to take profit break-even settings. So there's two options. You can either have a ratio of the stop loss. So basically, if the stop loss is 40 points, then the take profit will be 80. But obviously you can change it to 1.5, you can make it 10, you make it 0.2. It is totally at your disposal. Otherwise, you can take profit in pips/points. So you can just make it 40, 50, whatever it is that you think is fair for the market. In terms of break even, this is basically, as you might think, if it goes 20 points in profit, it goes to break even. Probably for school run, I recommend 35, and I'd use probably ratio of stop loss at 2. That'd be, I think, a reasonable strategy for the school run. Break-even pips is basically just an entry buffer for break-even. So if you want to guarantee it doesn't turn into a losing trade of any type, you can have it at 2, for example. So it'll be a break-even with a slight profit. Next is trade closing settings. So if you want it to close everything at a certain time, like you want it closed at 11 or before end of the day, you can press true, and then you can just set the stop hour and that will match it. So if you want to, let's say you're doing Euro USD, you want to open a trade for the first 2 hours of the session and close it at the end of the day, then you'd set the stop hour at, let's say, 9.50, and then you'd turn this to true. The next bit is an M5 close. Now this is a somewhat geeky part of the bot. Some people might find this very interesting. Basically, this is built around ICT and fair value gap, and the best way to describe it is you can make it close your position if there's been a very substantial move in the 5-minute chart. So let's say you make it 30, you make the close point, let's say 5. So it's a candle with quite a small wick. And basically what will happen here, if the DAX in this case moves 30 points in 5 minutes, which is not that common, and it closes within 5 of the end of the candle, it will close your position. So think of it like this: if a bar moves very fast, the price moves very fast for some reason, at the end of that bar, if it's fitting your criteria, it will close. And this is basically a common thing I see, where if there's a very quick price movement in the market, then typically it gets reversed quite quickly as well, because these things are unusual. Price normally slowly moves over time. It doesn't have these rapid bursts so often. So it protects you from these quick movements, both in a positive and negative way. Next is the previous day bottom close and the previous week. So this basically means if you get to a double top on the daily chart, it can close. If you get to a double top on the weekly chart, it will close. And double bottom as well. I personally don't use this, but it is a very sensible exit point for a lot of breakout strategies to close once you hit a double top on the day or week. So for this, use as you wish. You can use the back testing. I personally don't use this, but it is a nice feature to have. Next is the Tom mode. Now this is a pure dedication to Tom Huggard. He's very famous for adding to positions. I will first off say I strongly recommend not using this in live accounts, but if you are interested to try, it's here to be used. So you can turn it on true, and essentially it'll just mean it'll add to winners at the point in profit that you choose. So here it'll add to winner at 15, it'll add to winner at 30 points profit, it'll add to winner at 50 points profit. And you can set the stop loss, you can set the multiplier, you can even set the break evens. There's a lot of customization here. Again, I do not recommend this. You use this at your own risk, but it is a cool addition. Call it a nice way of saying thanks to Tom for helping his community, and it might actually be very profitable with the right settings. I have found backtests where having a add-on is optimal. But for me, with my risk sensitivity, it's just not for me. But it could be for you. Re-entry is important. This is just to say if it will do a re-entry for the main breakout. So how many times can it be closed and then re-enter? Personally, I would have this probably at false. So maximum of the trades for the session will be 2 in a day. But if you feel inclined to have it 3, 4, you can. So it's just so you have the option. Trailing start, I think, is quite explanatory. So if you want to have a trailing start, you can, and you can set the settings for that. And general settings, basically max spread. So the spread obviously is what the broker takes on that trade. So you can set this to avoid having any huge sort of spread issues where you're paying a massive spread and therefore not making profit. Last thing, and it's probably one of the most important points to cover, is the time. Now, this bot works on the server time for your provider, your broker. In my case, I'm using DarwinX, but you may be using a totally different broker to me. Every broker has their own server time. Therefore, you need to be able to customize the time to fit with your broker. In my case, if I have it as true, and I have it set on GMT offset right now, due to the summer savings have been taken into account to this, it will make sure that CET matches the server time. But you will have to customize this to your specific server. So it's a bit of work, but I'm afraid if you want a highly customizable breakout bot, then this is necessary. And a lot of people overlook time. It's incredibly important for breakouts that you have the right timing, and this is how you can change it. Therefore, you've got a few options. You could just change the time on here. So instead of using 9:15, you use it 10:15. So you just match the server time to CT. That's another option. Or you just fundamentally change it here. Both can actually work fine, but I want to give you the flexibility to make sure it's working as intended. Magic number is just so you can identify this bot and see its results in your portfolio. Happy hunting. One thing to mention that this is version 2 I've got out here. That means we've had 20 iterations of this bot. This is not like some bot that's been made in 5 minutes. This has been going through a lot of bug testing. A lot of work's been put into this, and nothing's perfect. And if you do find any bugs or things that you think could be improved, please DM me on MQL5. You're welcome to message me in general with questions. I really hope this can add some value to your trading, and if you see the value in the demo and it's working for you and you want to buy it from me, all the better. I am presenting you here a real bot that actually works, that isn't trying to con you, to trick you. It works on real price action, it has real customization, and I've got real live results that I'll be posting for this bot. And yeah, it goes, easy to say, it goes with risk. You need to know what you're doing, and I hope this video has added some value for you in that regard. Take care.